Peter DeBoer. It's not Peter DeBoer because he's not playing, so it's got to be Featherstone. But they've all squared off. Now looking to square off are Greg Smyth, Brian Martin. Was almost the cause of something very ugly because he was taunting the Spitfires players with his hockey stick in his hands. That prompted the Spitfires' Kevin Kerr and Brian Martin to go after Smyth with their hockey sticks, and that then prompted Greg Smyth to drop his hockey stick. Now, we've got to also say that the two coaches did try everything to prevent the bench clearing situation, but it became imminent when London was outnumbered at the Windsor bench. And really, to balance it off, both teams had to go. Greg Smyth of the Knights in particular is looking for a fight. There's no hiding that fact. There he is at the London bench. The assistant coach is trying to hold on to him. Coach Don Boyd is trying to hold on to him. Maybe Dan Mahon is going to go here with Brendan Shanahan. Mahon and Shanahan. Well, I've got to say right now, this is one part of this job I do not like. Our options here are to stop the tape and pretend that it never happened, or else we try to record it factually and fairly, and that's what we're going to attempt to do, I guess. Producer Robert Scuselin is still rolling on this thing. Maybe the league will want to requisition the tapes. I don't know. Dan Mahon is still going at it over there with Brendan Shanahan of the Knights. Now Greg Smyth of the Knights is still looking for a bout. And he has one of the linesmen restraining him. Now, this is a good move by Knights coach Don Boyd. He's calling his players to his bench for what it's worth.
Well, it's perhaps a little bit late for that, but it's about time somebody did something. You know,
Tommy Webster is on the ice. Now he's off the ice. Trainer Mark Olsevich is on the ice. The general manager Jimmy Rutherford is right at the Windsor bench.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how Jim Norquay sorts this one out. The fight behind the Windsor, behind the London bench now in the alleyway. Fans are getting into it behind in the hallway.
In the
behind
alleyway, just to the right of the London bench from our viewpoint. There goes Coach Don Boyd out into the hallway.
Well, as I said a few minutes ago, it's going to be interesting to see how they sort this one out.
There goes Greg Smyth down into the hallway. At least he didn't take his hockey stick with him.
Oh, I don't understand that, why he would let a player go out into that. Why the linesman would let the player get off the ice and go down into that. Now another London player's climbed over the bench, and
well,
he's gone.
The London team is now funneling down into the hallway. And this is not what the Ontario Hockey League intends for the junior hockey product to be.
I don't understand that move by the linesman to let Smyth get off the ice like that. It's bad enough letting the fans get into it in the hallway without letting the players get back there. Somebody could get hurt with skates and sticks, and it's bad enough having it happen on the ice with the players without letting them get off the ice.
David, you're right. In fact, I think in the rules it says that the referee is in charge of keeping the building under control.
Well, I wish him all the luck in the world because he doesn't have much chance at the moment.
Now, of course, that's within the boundaries of what one man can do. I understand all of that, and I understand that there are also policemen and guards, etc., to try and put the lid on a situation like this. And the teams have now being flagged to their dressing rooms. That's the word. There you see a very harried Tommy Webster. The teams are going to their dressing rooms. 6:07 remaining in the second period. The Knights are leading it by a score of 4-2, so this is going to be a shortened second period. And perhaps we'll gather our breath. And I'm going to say one more personal thing right here. My dad, Frank Salib Sr., is celebrating his 67th birthday today. I brought him up to Windsor from his home in Leamington for this hockey game tonight, and I am ashamed to have brought him to this hockey game. And I'm saying that to the Windsor Spitfires, to the London Knights, to the Ontario Hockey League, to referee Jim Torquay, and to anybody else who might listen. And you know what else is really going to reflect bad is that we have a Detroit television station here tonight. Another personal acquaintance of mine, John Gross, the fine sports reporter from Channel 7, is here tonight. He was doing some kind of feature story on the Detroit Compuware people's ownership of the hockey club and on Keith Gretzky. And this is what he found. So, Ontario Hockey League, I hope you're listening, and I hope you'll deal with it in an appropriate and an appropriately stern fashion. So apparently we're going to take a break. The teams have gone to the dressing rooms. We can't even begin to sort out the penalties, so upcoming, we're going to... Checking for the Knights is Don Martin. He's taken in on the boards by Urbanic. It's shot to the blue line by the Knights' Murray Nystrom. They're bodying heavily along those far boards. We have a fight at the Windsor bench. Well, this is something new. Now goaltender Reese is into it. And if this isn't a bench-clearing brawl, I don't know what will be. This is going to be a bench-clearing brawl. This is ugly. Spitfire trainer Wally Tatimer is right there. Now, yes, the Knights are going. Well, this is ugly. Main bout seems to be the Knights. Seems to be the Knights' number 9, David Haas, and the Spitfires. It's either Glen Featherstone or Peter DeBoer. It's not Peter DeBoer because he's not playing, so it's got to be Featherstone. But they've all squared off. Now looking to square off are Greg Smyth, Brian Martin. The Knights' Greg Smyth was almost the cause of something very ugly because he was taunting the Spitfires players with his hockey stick in his hands. That prompted the Spitfires' Kevin Kerr and Brian Martin to go after Smyth with their hockey sticks, and that then prompted Greg Smyth to drop his hockey stick. Now, we've got to also say that the two coaches did try everything to prevent the bench clearing situation, but it became imminent when London was outnumbered at the Windsor bench. And really, to balance it off, both teams had to go. Greg Smyth of the Knights in particular is looking for a fight. There's no hiding that fact. There he is at the London bench. The assistant coach is trying to hold on to him. Coach Don Boyd is trying to hold on to him. Maybe Dan Mahon is going to go here with Brendan Shanahan. Mahon and Shanahan. Well, I've got to say right now, this is one part of this job I do not like. Our options here are to stop the tape and pretend that it never happened, or else we try to record it factually and fairly, and that's what we're going to attempt to do, I guess. Producer Robert Scuselin is still rolling on this thing. Maybe the league will want to requisition the tapes. I don't know. Dan Mahon is still going at it over there with Brendan Shanahan of the Knights. Now Greg Smyth of the Knights is still looking for a bout. And he has one of the linesmen restraining him. Now, this is a good move by Knights coach Don Boyd. He's calling his players to his bench, for what it's worth.
Well, it's perhaps a little bit late for that, but it's about time somebody did something. You know,
Tommy Webster is on the ice. Now he's off the ice. Trainer Mark Olsevich is on the ice. The general manager Jimmy Rutherford is right at the Windsor bench.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how Jim Norquay sorts this one out. The fight behind the Windsor, behind the London bench now in the alleyway. Fans are getting into it behind in the hallway.
In the alleyway, just to the right of the London bench from our viewpoint. There goes Coach Don Boyd out into the hallway. And the teams have now being flagged to their dressing rooms. That's the word. There you see a very harried Tommy Webster. The teams are going to their dressing rooms. 6:07 remaining in the second period.
We're going to go to our Remember When segment. Of course, don't have to tell you about the rivalry between the London Knights and the Windsor Spitfires. It's been a long and outstanding one. Here's a look at our Remember When segment featuring that rivalry.
Coverage. Shannon shoots, deflected, goal! And the Reese, right the back, and we scored! In overtime! And the Spitfires went 5-4 in double overtime.
Don Martin, he's taken in on the boards by Benic. It's shot to the blue line by the Knights' Murray Nystrom. They're bodying heavily along those far boards. We have a fight at the Windsor bench. Well, this is something new. Now goaltender Reese is into it. And if this isn't a bench-clearing brawl, I don't know what will be. This is going to be a bench-clearing brawl. This is ugly. Spitfire trainer Wally Tadimer is right there. Now, yes, the Knights are going. Well, this is ugly. Main bout seems to be the Knights. Seems to be the Knights number 9, David Haas, and the Spitfires.
How many London Windsor fans remember that night here at the Windsor Arena? That was about 10 years into the league for the Spitfires at that time, and the rivalry was well established by that point, and it just continues on. A pretty intense period here already tonight between the Knights and the Spitfires.